Hello all, I'm Professor Mahesh Asalkar, mentor for your MRCOG course. Today's video is about assessment of the training, that is the AoT application process. Most of you have finished your part 1 of MRCOG examination as well as part 2 of MRCOG examination, and you are waiting for the results. Few candidates have asked me regarding when to apply for this AoT, what documents are required. That is why I thought I should make a complete video on assessment of the training, which will clear all your doubts. Okay, so this video is about application for assessment of the training, that is AoT application for the overseas candidates, that is the route B. Okay, so this video is a complete guide for the overseas candidate regarding the AoT, while route A candidates are the candidates who are the trainee from the UK. Okay, so basically what we are going to discuss is about the eligibility requirement for the training, then what are the documents which are required for application for AoT, then step by step application process, that also we will discuss. Then how to avoid the mistakes and how to submit the application successfully. What are the common mistakes which are done by the candidates, and there will be certain tips before you upload your documents. Okay, so please watch this video till the end. Okay, and we will also have discuss certain frequently asked questions by the candidates. Okay, so let us recapitulate our MRCOG journey. Our MRCOG journey started by creating an account with the RCOG. So we got our 6-digit RCOG candidate number first. Then we applied for the eligibility confirmation. Okay. So once our eligibility is confirmed, then we applied for part 1, clear our part 1 of MRCOG. We know that MRCOG has got 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So once part 1 is clear, you are eligible for appearing the part 2. Once part 2 is clear, you are eligible for applying for part 3. But before you apply for your part 3, there is an additional criteria which you need to complete. That is the required training criteria. Okay. So this required training criteria is very, very important because training is a continuous process. So what is the required training criteria? It is a 4 years of post-registration training in obstetrics and gynecology that is required, and that you need to get it approved from RCOG before you apply for part 3. Okay. Now, when can you apply? Okay, for AoT, that is the assessment of the training. So there is an application window. This application window is once you have passed your part 1 of MRCOG and before you apply for part 3 examination. Okay, so this has nothing to do with your part 2 result. Okay, so recommended AoT application window is after passing the part 1, and once you have completed the required training, you may apply for the assessment of the training. There is no need to wait for part 2 results. Okay. So what are the eligibility criteria or the training criteria for the RCOG? So eligibility criteria is minimum 4 years of post-registration obstetrics and gynecology training is required. Okay, so training can be completed in the UK or it may be in the overseas also. At least 2 years of training should be recent. It means that out of 4 years, the 2 years should be within the last 4 years immediately preceding the AOT application. Okay, so this is what is the most important thing. Once you have completed your post registration 4 years of training in obstetrics and gynecology and you have passed your part 1 of MRCOG, you will be able to apply for AOT. Now we will see the step-by-step application process. This is the link which I will be giving in the description box also. You can click this link or you just go into the Google, type that AOT RCOG, and you will get this particular page where there is an online application process where you can start filling the application. Okay, so before you click on the link and start online application, filling the application, certain things which you need to keep ready with you. Once, first most important thing is you confirm that you are eligible for applying for AOT. Second, certain personal information is required. That is your 6-digit RCOG account number is required. Medical registration number of your council. Okay, so the country in which you are working and you are registered with the national council, medical council of that particular country, you need to have the medical registration number with you. Then primary medical qualification, because they are asking the name of the university from where you have graduated or you have done your MBBS. Okay, and then your email ID. The experience certificate is the most important part of this particular AoT application, which I will be going into the details. So please watch this video till end. Not only that, the PDF of all the checklist and important tips I'll be enclosing into the description box. So you can download it, and before you feel, read it carefully. Okay. The supporting documents should be in English, or if they are not English, then you need to have certified English translation. Okay. And final checklist before you start this application process. Okay, so once you click on this particular link, you will get this kind of page, that is the assessment of training. This is an online application. Okay, so what they are asking is a RCOG account number. Here you will fill your 6-digit RCOG account number. Then I am applying as either route A or route B, either as a route A or route B. So route A is the training in the recognized UK specialist training program, and route B, all other applicants are the route B. So all overseas candidates will be in the route B. So we'll click on the route B, and then we'll click on the next. Okay. So this is the step by step. So next step, that is the step 2 and 3 of the online application. They are asking about the personal details and the medical qualification. So in the personal details, is your first name, then last name. Okay, remember first name and the last name, then email ID, then you need to select your gender and write the date of birth. Remember, your first name and the last name should match with the documents as well as the RCOG records. Okay. Then the medical qualification. Okay, medical qualification. You, as I already mentioned, the medical registration number of your council. Then University of Primary Medical Degree. That is the your MBBS degree from which university you have got. Then MTI applicant. Are you applying to the MTI scheme? So most of us are applying for assessment for the part 3 examination. So here in that case, you will click no, and then you will click next. Okay. Remember the places where there are stars, these are the mandatory columns. Okay. Or the mandatory fields, you have to fill this. Okay. So once you have filled your personal details, medical qualification, you will go to the next page. Okay. So next is the pre-registration training. That is the step. Okay, pre-registration training is your internship. So did you complete your pre-registration training? Most of us have completed our internship, which is a 12 months of internship. So you'll click yes, then they will ask you about the placement details of the internship. Okay, in which you have to write your job title, number of months, that is it is a 12 months of training. So if you have completed in one hospital, you'll write 12 months here. But if you have completed in 2 hospitals, 6 months each, or 3 hospitals, 4 months each, then accordingly your duration of the months will be different. Then when was the post starting and what is the aim date, that you will mention. Then you will write about the name of the hospital and the consultant in charge, and then you will upload the certificate of the internship. This is about the pre-registration training they are asking. So here, I think by mistake they have mentioned about the post-registration certificate, but the next line here immediately mentions, please upload all the required pre-registration certificate or the letters. Okay, so all the details of the internship you are going to write. So if it is in the placement all 12 months, that you will write in one column, but if it is at multiple placements, then you will fill placement 2, placement 3 also. Okay. Then the most important is the step 5, that is the post registration detail, because what we need is the 4 years of post registration experience in obstetrics and gynecology. Okay, so again here there are total 8 spaces for the placement. So placement 1, 2, 3, 4, such 8 spaces are given. Okay, and at each place these are the details which you need to write. That is the job title, which may be SHO, junior resident, registrar, senior resident, etc. Then the duration of the training. You may have completed all 4 years, that is 48 months in one hospital, or it may be in different hospital. It may be 12 months in a hospital, then another 6 months in another hospital, etc. But total 4 years, that is 48 months are required. Then the details of the post. When the post started, that is the from day, month and year to day, month and year, that you need to fill. And most important thing is that the dates which you are entering here must exactly match your experience certificate, because you are going to upload the experience certificate. So both the dates should match. Then Another important thing is that hospital and the institution name, you have to write complete name of the hospital and the name of the consultant under whom you have worked. Okay, the consultant who have supervised your work, his name should be there. Then you upload the post registration certificate. Okay, so the file type accepted is a PDF, JPEG, PNG, DocX, and Doc. These are the supported files, and the total maximum file size is 25 MB. Okay, so this is what is the maximum. Remember, if you have got all 4 years in only one placement, then you will feel placement one. But if it is a split into 2, 3, or 4, then you will feel placement 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But if your 4 years of training is split into more than 8 posts, then the online application is not possible because they have given only 8 spaces. In that particular case, you will write or contact the AoT team on this particular email ID, that is aot@rcog.org.uk, along with all your documents. Okay. Once you have mentioned your post-registration details, attach your documents, then the final sixth step, that is the declaration and the final submission. So here there are two declarations that you have to mention, confirm that I'm not currently suspended or removed from medical practice, and I'm not involved in any disciplinary proceedings related to the medical practice or professional conduct. And second declaration that you have passed your part 1 of MRCOG examination. Then you will click here that I have read and confirmed the above declaration. Then you will write your name here. Okay, so you have to type your name, full name, as an electronic signature. And once you have filled this particular document, then you will submit. So this is your final submission. Okay, but before you submit, there are certain tips which you should know, especially about the experience certificate. So there is a checklist which you should always check before submission. Okay, this experience certificate should be on the hospital letterhead. Okay, the candidate's name should be clear and it should be as per the RCOG records. Then you need to write the post or the designation properly. That is whether it was a SHO post, registrar post, etc. Then it is better to mention that the Department of Obstetrics and Gynaecology along with the institution, because it is the training in obstetrics and gynecology which they want. So hospital name along with the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Then the training period, the start date and end date should be there on the experience certificate. The consultant's name and signature should be there, and the date of issue. Okay, so these are the things which you should keep in mind in because they have not given any specific format of the certificate, but these are the things should be there in the experience. The language requirement, your certificate should be in English. Suppose your certificate is not in English, then you need to submit your original, plus you need to attach certified English translation. And you have to make one copy only, because for each placement, there is only one document which you can include. So whatever the number of documents which you have, that you have to make as a one. Okay. For first placement, you will attach one document. For placement 2, you will attach one document, and the date should be matched. Okay. And the if you have got this translated copy, then it should be verified by the issuing institution or authorized translator. Okay, so there are certain tips. Use the official hospital seal or the stamp. Mention whether the post was full time. Ensure the hospital name is written exactly as it appears on the official documents, and verify that all the details on the certificate exactly match with the information which you have entered in your AoT application. So online information, whatever you have filled, is matching with the document which you are enclosing, that we need to confirm. Okay. There are certain frequently asked questions by the candidates. When can I apply for the AoT? Once you have passed your Part 1 MRCOG examination, and once you have completed 4 years of post-registration training, you can apply for the AoT. Do I have to wait for Part 2 results? Part 2 result has nothing to do with this AoT application, because as I have already mentioned, it is Part 1 examination passed and required training completed. That is the criteria for AoT. Is there any fee for the AoT? There is no fees for the AoT. Okay, what is the processing time for the application? In general, it takes around 4 weeks. They will process the application as they receive the application. That is first come, they'll serve first. Okay. Any additional documents if they need, then you have to submit within 3 weeks. Once your AOT is approved, then that is valid permanently. So suppose you have got your AOT approval and you did not clear your part 3, then in the next attempt, you don't have to apply it again. Once you have approved, the training is approved, that is valid. Okay. So there are certain mistakes, top 5 mistakes, which will delay your AOT approval. The one is waiting for the part 2 result before applying. Don't wait for the part 2 result because it has no relation with your AOT application. Okay. Incorrect calculation of the post-registration training. Total 4 years of post-registration training should be there, and there should be evidence, documentary evidence. Okay. So dates on the certificates do not match with the application. This is also one of the frequently committed mistake by the most of the students. Missing consultant's signature or the hospital letterhead, and non-English certificate submitted without a certified translation. So whenever you have got a translation, it should be certified. Okay. So final take home message is apply early once you are eligible. Prepare all documents before starting the application. Ensure certificate details exactly match the online application, and always refer to the RCOG website for the latest guidance and updates. This video will clear all your doubts about the AOT application, but this is a complementary to the information which is given on the RCOG website. It will not replace the information because RCOG is updating the guidance on time to time. So whatever is available as on date, I have included in the videos. So if you have any questions, you can post in the comments. I'll reply to this particular your comments, and I will also attach the PDF file of the checklist in the description box. Okay. I hope I have cleared all your queries. Thank you very much. Thank you.